Hello out there to all of my internet royalty, and especially to the Synchro fans in the audience. I am Diatonic, and welcome to my first in a series of deck profiles featuring cards from the newest mini-box, the King of Vermilion. Though many of its core cards come from other places like the Stardust Nexus Structure Deck EX, Shooting Star Dragon has received a powerful boost in the newest box, centered around the newly added spell card, Tuning. So I'm here to show you the deck, its combos, and get you up to speed to take you all the way from a simple Junk Synchron to Shooting Star Dragon himself. Be sure to subscribe so you can see the rest of my King of Vermilion deck profiles, but for now, let's go. The new skill, Shooting Star Road, is critical in making the deck work. It allows you to begin the duel with a copy of Junk Converter in your grave, as well as gives you the ability to summon a copy of Formula Synchron from outside your deck if you control Stardust Dragon. It also has some requirements in terms of what cards you actually need to include in the deck, so it does help guide you when building. Recently reprinted in the Stardust Nexus structure, 3 copies of Junk Synchron are pivotal to the deck. You want to give yourself the best chance of starting with one in hand, as it allows you to bring out that Junk Converter in your grave when summoned and start your Synchro combos. Even though there's already one in the grave, I highly recommend 3 copies of Junk Converter. Along with its ability to special summon a tuner from grave after being used as a Synchro material, it also allows you to discard itself and a tuner to add a Synchron monster from deck to hand. I'm also running 2 copies of Quick Draw Synchron, which can be special summoned by discarding a monster. It can be used in place of any Synchron tuner for a Synchro summon, so you can use it to summon things like Junk Destroyer. For both Junk Converter and Quick Draw Synchron's discard requirements, I recommend 2 copies of Mecha Phantom Beast Olion. When it's discarded, you can summon a level 3 Mecha Phantom Beast token to your field, which can be used as a Synchro material. I also highly recommend 3 Tuning Gum in the deck. You mainly want it for the ability to negate cards and effects that would target a single Synchro monster you control, like Karma Cut, by banishing it from the grave. Use it to enable something like Junk Converter, then banish it to protect your boss monster. I'm playing 3 copies of the new Tuning spell card, which lets you add a Synchron tuner from deck to hand, as long as you mill the top card of your deck afterwards. With 3 of this, Junk Synchron and Junk Converter, you're almost guaranteed to be able to ladder all the way up to Shooting Star Dragon right away. I include 2 copies of Book of Moon in my deck to turn off monster effects that might cause problems. It's great to flip over something like a Cyber/Harpy Lady to prevent my Synchro monsters from being sent back to the extra deck. Finally, to round out the main deck, I play 2 copies of Hey Trunade. Trunade is a solid choice that can help enable your OTKs in situations where the opponent's back row could overwhelm you. For the extra deck, I run our single copy of Shooting Star Dragon, given out as part of the KCGT Celebration campaign. It's the only one we've got, which is why we need extra protection with cards like Tuning Gum, Book, and Trunade. I run a copy of Junk Destroyer, which is probably the second monster you'll be aiming to summon in many cases. It lets you blow up a single card on the opponent's field and is incredibly easy to get up to. 1 Stardust Dragon is really all you'll need, as his effect alone isn't exactly worth writing home about. He's really just here to help us get all the way up to Shooting Star Dragon. I run a Junk Archer just to try and give myself some extra utility. You never know when you'll run into a situation where temporarily banishing a single monster would be the difference between a smooth OTK and a train wreck. The extra deck for Shooting Star leans heavily on level 5 Synchros, as they're the first step in laddering up to Shooting Star himself. Junk Warrior is an easy one of in the deck, as his only real use is as a stepping stone to go all the way up to Shooting Star. Sorry, buddy. But for some extra utility, I play a copy of Armades Keeper of Boundaries. His effect is pretty nice. His stats are generally better than Junk Warrior's, and if you don't need him, he's just another way to work your way up to a level 8 Synchro. In the same vein, I play a copy of the newly released Ally of Justice Cataster. Not only is it a level 5 Synchro for the ladder, but think about how many non-dark decks are being played in the meta right now. Water Xyz, Fire King, Harpy, Blue Eyes, and so on. He can come in handy if you need to clear the way for Shooting Star. And that's it! The deck's only been available for a week or 2, so there's still new techs being discovered, but I think this is one of the better ways to run Shooting Star. It's incredibly easy to summon him, and there's enough utility in the deck to protect him, at least long enough to go for an OTK. Since Synchro summoning can be a bit confusing in terms of math, I'd like to walk you through the steps to summon each of the monsters in the extra deck, then we'll jump over to a few ranked duels to see how it plays. So first, the most basic combo to summon Shooting Star. First, you'll want to summon Junk Synchron from your hand as a normal summon. This will allow you to activate his effect to special summon Junk Converter from the graveyard. Using Junk Synchron and Junk Converter, you can now Synchro summon to Junk Warrior. When you do this, this will activate Junk Converter's effect, which will let you special summon Junk Synchron from the graveyard. And now, with Junk Warrior and Junk Synchron, you can Synchro Summon Stardust Dragon. With Stardust Dragon on your board, you can now activate Shooting Star Road, which allows you to special summon Formula Synchron from outside your deck. Then, using Stardust Dragon and Formula Synchron, you can Synchro Summon Shooting Star Dragon. Formula Synchron's effect actually allows you to Synchro Summon on your opponent's turn, so if it's turn 1, you can just leave Stardust Dragon and Formula Synchron on your board. It's a quick effect, so you can Synchro Summon in response to an opponent's effect activation. Next up, there's actually 2 ways to Synchro Summon Junk Destroyer. You could follow the path of the previous summon, going all the way up to Junk Warrior with Junk Synchron on your board, and instead of going to Stardust, you can choose to go to Junk Destroyer instead. You can also use Quick Draw Synchron's effect to special summon him by discarding a monster. If you discard Mecha Phantom Beast Olion, you'll summon Quick Draw Synchron, then Olion's effect will activate to summon the level 3 Mecha Phantom Beast token, then you can use those 2 monsters to Synchro Summon Junk Destroyer. To summon Junk Archer, you can discard just about any monster to special summon Quick Draw from hand, and then normal summon Junk Converter, sync those 2 together, and now you have Junk Archer. Finally, there is a way to summon both Shooting Star Dragon and Junk Destroyer in the same turn. Now obviously maybe not the best idea if you're going first, but it can be an incredibly devastating turn. So first, what you'll want to do is use Quick Draw Synchron's effect from hand to discard Mecha Phantom Beast Olion. Now you have Quick Draw Synchron and a level 3 Mecha Phantom Beast token. Synchro those 2 together to make Junk Destroyer. The reason you make Junk Destroyer first is because when you activate Shooting Star Road, you can no longer Synchro Summon monsters outside of Wind Dragon type monsters. So once you've summoned Junk Destroyer, you can then perform the regular ladder to go all the way up to Shooting Star. Junk Synchron Normal Summon, Special Summon Converter from the graveyard, Synchro to level 5, Re-Summon Junk Synchron, Synchro to level 8, Shooting Star Road activation, Stardust Dragon, Formula Synchron, Shooting Star. Alright, so now that we've gotten an overview of the various combos and chains you need to know to play the deck, let's take it into the fray and see how she does.